Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Sunday morning. Welcome back, everyone. It's a coffee kind of morning. I want to continue my Albums to Discover series through Discog Shuffle. It's been a few days since I've done this series, but I'm really enjoying it. And I don't know if you recall last time this album came up. The amazing Ozzy and the album Down to Earth. Bit of a different departure from his normal Ozzy, but still great elements in there. You know it's Ozzy, you know it's Zakk Wylde. Just amazing album. For some reason, the critics pan it, but I don't listen to them. They have a job to do, I guess. Some harsh comments on these ones. I think because it's such a different sounding album. It's more of a grunge sound than a heavy metal sound, perhaps. But I look at each album individually. I don't rank them. I don't think that's fair. Bands don't put out albums to be ranked. They put out albums individually and put their heart and soul into these. And this is a fine album. It's hit number 19 on the album charts in the UK, number 4 in the US. The 8th studio album released by Ozzy. It came around the same time as Ozfest, and Ozzy wanted to continue on with that Ozfest touring. He says like the Grateful Dead, but the record company wanted an album, so he put together, I'd say, a super group. He put together bassist Robert Trujillo, and I always probably screw up that name, who is now premier bass player with Metallica, and that gave it a different sound altogether. It just got that hard rock. He was an amazing bass player. It's just give him that hard edge, that deep, dark sound that only he can provide, and the heavy drumming of Mike Borden from Faith No More, and of course the amazing guitarist Zakk Wylde, who just shreds. It's an awesome album, heavy, bluesy, awesome guitar work, awesome drumming, awesome playing. Rhythm section is deep and dark, yeah, it's just Mark Borden's got a John Bonham type of heaviness to him, and just remarkable. And of course Ozzy. Ozzy's voice is spectacular. I've always loved Ozzy, especially when I heard him off of Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Ozzy is just Ozzy. I mean, you know, you see him in his reality shows. He's kind of a quirky. I don't know if it's an act that he's not the smartest or the brightest guy in the world, but you put a mic in front of him and he just turns into Ozzy. But this album, not only having a different sound, it also is more of a revealing album, hence the title Down to Earth. And I'll speak about that in just a second. And again, I don't listen to the critics. The critics just pan this one, but because it's so different than, say, Blizzard of Oz or other things. There's some elements of Sabbath in it. Get Me Through, the opening track, and the only thing I would change on this album, if it was me, there's a ballad. The first two tracks, Down to Earth and Facing Hell, are just heavy and typical Ozzy sounding. And then I don't know if it's they put a ballad in there called Dreamer, whether it's a radio hit or not. It kind of takes away from the momentum of the album. I just wish they would have put it either later in the album or even at the end of the album. That's my only criticism of this album, is the ballad. It just, you're starting to groove, you're starting to get into the album, because the next tracks after Dreamer are just rocking. So either take it out, and I'm not taking away from the song, just take it out, put it somewhere else, maybe at the end, and let the album flow. That's my only criticism of this album. So the get me through lyrics, and this is where the revealing part comes, because there are fans out there that have an image of someone that usually are bigger than the actual person. And again, Ozzy's reality show has opened him up to seeing who his true self is. But people still have this image of a star, a rock star, a movie star, whatever, that they're bigger than they actually are, and they can't change that image. So his lyrics in Get Me Through, the first song on the album, is I'm not the kind of person you think I am. I'm not the Antichrist, because everyone thinks he's this Antichrist image. Or I'm not the Iron Man. Of course, the song off of Paranoid Iron Man. So I'm not any one of those two. Just an ordinary guy. I have a vision that I just can't continue. I feel I've lost my spirit and sold my soul. So pretty revealing lyrics from this Down to Earth album. It's a great track as well, but it just goes to show you that he just wants to be a normal guy, despite all his wealth and his fame and his image of this Antichrist god of an artist. At the end of the day, he's just a cool guy with a great voice that can sing heavy metal songs, and I think that's what he's trying to say in these lyrics. It's a great album. It's got some dirty blues riffs, some heavy Sabbath riffs, awesome playing by this super group that he's put together in Zakk Wylde and Robert Trujillo and Mike Borden. Of course, Ozzy sounds great on it as well. The lyrics peel away and show his actual personality and who Ozzy is. It's definitely an album that's different than his other stuff, and also an album to discover for sure. It's a great album. Down to earth. Other greats that I have from Ozzy, I only have a few others here, but of course anything that he puts out I think is a great mixture of amazingness. Blizzard of Oz, debut album, released in '81. His first album after being fired from Black Sabbath in 1979. Maybe that was a godsend, that he could continue with a great solo career, as only Ozzy could. Ranks number 9th on the Rolling Stones Top 100 Greatest Albums of All Time. Of course, you got Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, 2 big singles off of this one, and remarkable stuff. Of course, the great Randy Rhoads on this one. Just classic Ozzy. The Ultimate Sin. This is a 4th album by Ozzy, released in 1984. This one has guitarist Jakey Lee, Randy Costello on drums, and bassist Phil Soussan. Shot in the Dark is a big single off of this one. Then we have Black Rain. That's a cool cover. I think that's cool. Black Rain is the 10th album by Ozzy. This one features Zakk Wylde on guitar, Mike Bordin on drums, and bassist Rob Nicholson. Debuted at number 3 on the charts. I Don't Want to Stop, Not Going Away, and Black Rain are the big singles off of this one. Sorry for the glare. Another great album. And his latest release, Ordinary Man. I love this album. He put together some amazing guest artists on this one. Some pretty high-profile people. You've got guitarist and keyboardist Andrew Watt, who also played with Miley Cyrus, I believe, a couple other players like that. I can't remember the other bigger names of younger artists, but he was a guitarist with those people. Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses. Slash from Guns N' Roses is on this one as well. Tom Morello is on this one. Elton John does a great duet with Ozzy, and Post Malone as well on this one. So some great players. Even his daughter does some backing vocals. Kelly. Awesome stuff. So there you have it. Great album to discover in Down to Earth from Ozzy. Take a listen. It's a great album. Don't compare it to, say, Blizzard of Oz, because, you know, no one played like Randy Rhoads. It was his debut album. I'm not saying to compare the two, but a different complete sound than Blizzard of Oz. More of a grunge than a heavy metal, but still great stuff. So let's see what's on the next albums to discover. Okay, so pardon me. And again, if something comes up that I've already talked about, I'll choose another. Touch wood, it hasn't happened yet. So we're going to hit the random item here. Humble Pie's Greatest Hits. There you go. Some great stuff in Humble Pie. Anyway, guys, love you all. Talk to you again soon, and take care. Bye-bye now.